Hello, welcome to my latest video. I'm the Unrepentant Atheist, and today I want to talk about flat Earth versus intelligent design. Which is it more unreasonable position to hold, flat Earth or intelligent design? Now, flat Earth seems to have been growing in popularity in the last 10, 15 years. I'm not sure what the origin is for this movement which we've got, but I'm pretty sure that there was probably very little belief in flat Earth before the internet blossomed. And if we think about academia, the academic world, I think it's probably fairly safe to say that we won't find any genuine bona fide scientists subscribing to flat Earth theory, or just not even, it's not a theory, just flat Earth. But as we know, there are some academics who subscribe to intelligent design. So it's probably on the basis of that and the evidence that it's probably more unreasonable to be a flat earther than it is to be intelligent, to believe in intelligent design. Of course, you know my position. I've rejected intelligent design. I don't believe there's any proper evidence for it. And I understand that the biologists who do subscribe to intelligent design are basically academic biologists who are capable of describing and explaining in great detail the way that biological systems work to the extent that they can teach it at degree level and even beyond. But their belief in intelligent design, or their arguments for intelligent design, don't impact upon their position in the universities because they're quite capable of giving that level of tuition. Of course, they have a minority view in the academic world. I think it's something like only 3% of biologists subscribe to intelligent design, and I suppose it's probably most likely that those are Christians. But nevertheless, intelligent design does have some backers in the academic world. And I don't think that you can say that for flat Earth unless somebody can cite me some examples of actual scientists who, I'm talking about scientists in real universities, not not Mickey Mouse made up universities, who subscribe to flat Earth. And I suppose the other thing is obviously on the evidential side of things, flat Earth is so obviously not true. Because of all the evidence that we've got for the fact that the Earth is round, it's a sphere. We've got so much, tons of evidence, scientific evidence, observational evidence, and that the Earth is actually not flat. That it's more or less crazy to believe in it. But of course, for intelligent design, it's never going to be easy to falsify. In fact, a lot of people have argued that it's impossible, that we can't falsify intelligent design because the proposition is that there is a being, an intelligent being, beyond the material world who is doing the designing. And because we've got science, which only deals with the material world, there's actually no way for us to falsify intelligent design. So it's quite almost reasonable to say, well, these biological systems are just simply too complex to have occurred naturally. Therefore, we're going to propose on that basis that there's an intelligent designer. There's a rationale to that, but flat Earth can be falsified. It can be falsified in many scientific ways. There are debunking videos out there, and they go through all the reasons and all the so-called evidence that flat earthers have got. They've all been debunked. You know, all the sort of experiments that they've done, the flaws in those experiments have all been laid bare by real scientists. So, so there's that. So we can falsify flat Earth, and it has been falsified. We know that the Earth is not flat. It's accepted as a fact by, uh, as far as I can see, 100% of the world's physical scientists. Unless you can find me a real scientist, if somebody can falsify what I've just said by providing me evidence of a real scientist who believes in flat Earth, then I'll change my mind about that. But so we can't falsify intelligent design. Many people would say, because we can't falsify it, actually, that it's not reasonable to hold that position. It's not scientific, because we should only really be accepting propositions which relate to science that are properly scientific, and proposing an intelligent being who is beyond the material world. It's religion. It's not science. It's based on faith. In that sense, we could probably say that it's more reasonable to hold the flat Earth position, because at least a flat Earth position is something that we can test in the material world. It's a scientific proposition, and the proposition, the Earth is flat. It's not an oblate spheroid. It's flat. We can test it. We can observe. We can do experiments. So from that point of view, we can say that being a flat earther is actually more reasonable, because at least it can be tested. Whereas proposing intelligent design, we can't test it. It's not scientific. I know that intelligent design people will say, "Oh, it is scientific. There's plenty of science behind it." And all they mean, when you go and look at all the books which propose intelligent design, all they do, Behe and all the others, they just go through how amazingly complex, and they explain beautifully how all these things work, and how, oh, it couldn't possibly have happened through nature. And therefore, in the last chapter, God must have done it, or an intelligent being must have done it. Although, of course, an intelligent being could be a dolphin. So, no, a supernatural intelligent being must have done it. And you can either call that supernatural being God, or you can just call it a supernatural being. But the fact is that you're proposing something beyond the realm of science, and it's not testable, it's not scientific. So I would like to conclude this little talk by saying that, on the one hand, it's more reasonable to take a position for intelligent design, because it's so obviously it's been falsified. The Earth is not flat, and intelligent design is it's something which is possible, or may be possible. We don't know that it's possible, but we can't rule out that it's possible, and that gives it some plausibility. Whereas flat Earth has got no plausibility because of the weight of evidence. But by the same token, the empirical evidence that we've got, lends some scientific status to flat Earth, because it can be falsified. So it's kind of like a two-way thing. But I'd like to just conclude and say that, ironically, I actually think that it's more reasonable to hold the flat Earth position than intelligent design from a scientific point of view, because you can always be corrected. As a flat earther, you can have it proven to you by proper scientific means. You can have your position falsified, and you can say, "Oh yes, okay, I was a flat earther, but now I'm a round earther." Whereas with intelligent design, we're never going to falsify. I don't believe we'll ever falsify it, because science can't do anything about detecting what's beyond the material world. It's an unsaleable position, and because it's an unsaleable position, I personally think we can discard it, because it's not scientific. So that's my conclusion. It's more reasonable from a scientific point of view actually to be a flat earther than a believer in intelligent design. Okay, what do you think? I'm sure that some of you will disagree, maybe some will agree and perhaps add to my reasoning. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, leave me a thumbs up, and look forward to seeing you again very soon.